History's most successful people, from Einstein to Tesla to Buddha, all discovered the same hidden truth about reality. A truth so powerful that once you understand it, everything in your life can transform. Yet 9% of people will never discover this principle because they're too busy looking in all the wrong places. They're chasing happiness, success, and fulfillment through methods that are literally designed to fail. By the end of this video, you'll understand the one spiritual principle that the most enlightened minds throughout history have used to completely rewrite their reality. Stay with me because what I'm about to share might be the missing piece you've been searching for. Before we dive in, I want you to take a moment and think about something that's currently causing you stress, pain, or struggle in your life. Maybe it's a relationship issue, financial problems, health concerns, or just a general feeling that something's missing. Hold that situation in your mind as we go through this video, because by the end, you'll see it in a completely different light. At its core, this principle can be stated simply, though its implications are profound. Consciousness is primary and everything else is secondary. Let me say that again. Consciousness is primary and everything else is secondary. What does this actually mean? It means that your consciousness, your awareness, your inner state, your level of presence is not just a byproduct of your brain or a passive observer of reality. It is the fundamental creative force through which your entire reality is experienced, interpreted, and ultimately shaped. This goes against everything modern society has taught us. We've been conditioned to believe that external circumstances determine our internal state, that our happiness depends on our achievements, our relationships, our possessions, that reality is fixed and solid and we are merely responding to it. But what if it's actually the opposite? What if your inner state, your consciousness, is actually determining how you perceive and interact with reality? And what if by shifting your consciousness, you could fundamentally transform your experience of life itself? Think about it this way. Two people can experience the exact same external event and have completely different reactions. One person gets stuck in traffic and has a meltdown, ruining their entire day. Another person uses that same traffic jam as an opportunity to listen to an inspiring podcast, practice deep breathing, or simply enjoy a moment of stillness in their otherwise busy life. Same external circumstance, radically different experiences. Why? Because consciousness is primary. The traffic isn't creating your experience, your consciousness is. Now, let's go deeper. This principle doesn't just mean that your attitude affects your experience, it means that consciousness itself is the foundation of reality. Modern quantum physics has begun to verify what ancient mystics have known for thousands of years, that the observer affects the observed, that consciousness and reality are intrinsically connected in ways we're only beginning to understand. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics demonstrates that subatomic particles behave differently when they're being observed versus when they're not. Think about the implications of that for a moment. The mere act of conscious observation changes the behavior of reality at its most fundamental level. But you don't need to understand quantum physics to apply this principle. You've already experienced its truth countless times in your own life. Have you ever noticed how when you're in a certain mood, everything seems to go wrong? Or how when you're feeling great, opportunities and synchronicities seem to flow effortlessly? That's not just coincidence, that's this principle in action. Your consciousness, your awareness and inner state is literally shaping how you perceive, interpret, and interact with the world around you. And those perceptions, interpretations, and interactions then create your lived experience of reality. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Most people live their entire lives never realizing that they're experiencing reality through filters, through layers of conditioning, beliefs, and unconscious patterns. They believe they're seeing reality as it truly is, when in fact they're seeing a highly personalized version of it, filtered through their own consciousness. And because they don't realize this, they become victims of their own unconscious conditioning. They react automatically to life's circumstances, reinforcing the same patterns over and over again, and then wonder why they keep experiencing the same problems and limitations. The truth is that your level of consciousness in any given moment is determining what possibilities you can perceive and access. It's like tuning to different frequencies on a radio. Certain stations simply cannot be heard on certain frequencies. Let me give you a concrete example. When someone is in a state of fear, their brain literally processes information differently. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for creative thinking, problem solving, and seeing the big picture, becomes less active, while the amygdala, responsible for fight or flight responses, becomes more active. In this fear state, a person cannot access creative solutions. They literally cannot see opportunities that might be right in front of them. Their consciousness is tuned to a frequency where those possibilities don't exist. Contrast that with someone in a state of calm, centered presence. Their prefrontal cortex is fully online. They can access creative insights, see connections others miss, and respond to challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. Same person, same brain. Completely different capabilities based solely on their state of consciousness in that moment. That's how fundamental this principle really is. But here's the million-dollar question. If consciousness is primary, how do we actually work with this principle to transform our lives? This is where most spiritual teachings fall short. They tell you that consciousness matters, but they don't give you practical tools for shifting and expanding your consciousness in daily life. So let me share 3 powerful practices that the masters throughout history have used to apply this principle. The first practice is presence. True presence means being fully aware in this moment, not lost in thoughts about the past or future. When you're truly present, you step out of identification with your thoughts and emotions and into the spacious awareness that is your true nature. Try this right now. Take a deep breath and feel the sensations in your body. Notice the sounds around you. Feel the weight of your body against whatever is supporting you. This simple act of becoming present immediately shifts your consciousness to a different frequency, one where you have access to more clarity, wisdom, and creative energy. The second practice is conscious response. Most people react automatically to life circumstances, driven by unconscious patterns and conditioning. But when you understand that consciousness is primary, you realize you have a choice in how you respond to every situation. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies your freedom and power to choose. By pausing before reacting, even for just a moment, you can access a higher level of consciousness and respond from wisdom rather than habit. The third practice is energetic alignment. Your body is an instrument of consciousness, and your energy system affects your state of awareness. By consciously working with your energy, through meditation, breathwork, movement, or other practices, you can literally tune your consciousness to higher frequencies. One simple way to do this is through conscious breathing. When you slow and deepen your breath, you send signals of safety to your nervous system, allowing your consciousness to expand beyond survival mode into more creative, connected states. These 3 practices, presence, conscious response, and energetic alignment, form a powerful framework for working with the principle that consciousness is primary. By consistently applying them, you begin to experience reality in an entirely new way. But let me warn you, this isn't always easy. We've been conditioned our entire lives to believe that external circumstances determine our internal state. Breaking free from that conditioning requires commitment and practice. The good news is that this principle works whether you fully believe in it yet or not. Even small shifts in your consciousness can create noticeable changes in your experience of reality, and as those changes accumulate, your conviction in this principle grows stronger. Remember that situation I asked you to think about at the beginning of this video, the one causing you stress or struggle? Now I want you to consider how your consciousness, your awareness, attention, and inner state might be shaping your experience of that situation. What would change if you approached it from a state of centered presence rather than fear or frustration? What new possibilities might become visible? What creative solutions might emerge? This isn't about denying real challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that your consciousness is the lens through which you experience everything, and by shifting that lens, you can transform your entire reality. This was the secret of Einstein when he said, "The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe." He understood that this decision made at the level of consciousness shapes everything else. And it can be your secret too, starting right now, if you choose to take this wisdom to heart and begin living from the understanding that consciousness is primary and everything else is secondary. Remember, you're not just passing through reality, you're creating it with every breath, every thought, every moment of awareness. Choose wisely and watch as your entire world transforms before your eyes. Thanks for watching.